Hello everyone, this is Phil Vinogradov, and I'm here with my kids. This is
Hello, I'm Noah.
and
I'm Sophia.
and we're gonna make a quick little video for you about Google Docs and how to work together in Google Docs. So Noah and Sophia, if you guys want to head on over to your computers, right? I'm gonna jump in over here, and we're gonna do a quick little Google Docs workflow. So I'm signed in as our fictional teacher, Professor Bruce Banner. And Dr. Banner starts the year with this Mars unit. And the Mars unit, he likes to have kids brainstorm, what does life need? And he asked that question by having kids brainstorm, what would it take to plan a mission to Mars? So he's going to start with a mission to Mars KWL. What do you know? What do you want to know? And what have you learned? So he boots up Google Docs. He's going to click on where it says untitled document and give it a name. He's going to Mars. Alrighty. And in Google Docs, you can explore all of the different features up here. It's your standard word processing toolbar. And the first thing that he's going to do is change the font. Google gives you 450 fonts to choose from. Dr. Banner likes Open Sans. We're going to make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see. Change the color to blue. He's going to give it a title, right? Going to Mars, KWL, right? And then he's probably going to put in some directions for the kids. So I've got directions for the kids. I'm not going to write out all those directions. I'm just going to give these directions a quick little placeholder. All right, so here I have my nice lengthy directions which the kids will read. Next, I want to create a space where all the kiddos are going to do their writing as they brainstorm and work together. So I will insert a table, create a little organized space for them. I will have a space for their name, a space for what they want to learn, what questions they have, and so I have name, right? What do they already know? What do they know that people need to survive on Mars? I have a space here for their questions. And I'm going to add a column for what they've learned later when the unit's over. All right, so I'm almost ready to go. Last thing I want to do is I want to give a little bit of flavor. So I will click on the word Mars, and I'm going to go to my tools, and I will use the research tool. I love the research tool in Google Docs, right? So up here I get some quick research on Mars. I can select a nice image. So I go to my Mars images. I like this one right here. I'm going to drag that image there and grab the image, wrap text, move it over here. Google will cite the source of images that I bring in. Right, so at the very bottom, I'll have my footnote with a citation of where it came from. I can use the research tool to go a little bit further. Right, so I look down here. Here's some articles. And here's Mars Planet Facts, News and Images. So I'm going to give that to my kids, right? I'm going to insert that link for them. If I wanted to cite this, the citation tool lets me choose MLA, APA, or Chicago. So in this case, I'm just going to give it a quick citation. And that will cite that source for me as well and for my kiddos. And now I'm ready to go, right? So I'll close the research tool and I'm going to share it. So in a different tutorial, I'll explain how to use Google Classroom to one-click automate sharing with many, many students. But sometimes you want to share with just a few. So here I will come in and I will share it with two fictional students that we have. We have Peter Parker. All right, so there he is. And we have Barbara Gordon. And there she is. All right, so we have our two fictional students. We can share, when we share with kids, that they can only edit, that they can only comment on a document, or they can only view it. In this case, I want their contribution, so I'll say, please edit, and I will send that off to the kids. Right, so they're going to get it, and in a moment, they will find this document and share it with me. They'll open it up. So I see that Peter Parker is already in, And looks like Barbara Gordon's already in, so that's Noah and Sophia. They've jumped in, and they're going to start to just brainstorm, like, what do they know that people need to survive on Mars? You know, what questions they have, right? What do they want to learn more about? All right, so here we go. And I can see them writing together. We can see each other writing in real time, and so I'm going to let them start working. And while they're working, I'll explain to you just a few of the other features here in Google Docs. Up here, I have this little move to folder. So if I wanted to, I could organize this in an additional folder, right? It's in the Mars unit, but I can click on Organize. And if I hold down Command or Control, depending on my computer, I can move something to multiple folders. So Google lets me index one file in multiple folders. That's awesome for things like rubrics. I can take a rubric and I can put it in Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3. If I update it once, it updates it in all of those places. So here I see the kids are writing, and sometimes I like to give them feedback while they're working. Usually I do that by walking around the room, but sometimes I can give silent feedback, or I can give feedback at night, right? So here I see that my son, right, Noah, Peter Parker, has written the word oxygen. And is there enough oxygen on Mars? So I'm going to answer his question with a question, right? So I select oxygen. I say, let me put in a comment, right? And I'll say, where does oxygen come from on Earth? Right? And I'm going to push him to go and research that. All right, so whenever you leave a comment for your kids on their work, the kids will get an email saying that the teacher's left a comment. And if they open their email and click on that email, it's going to bring them right back to the document. So this is an awesome way for you to give feedback to kids on their work as their work unfolds. Kids can reply to the document, to the comment. You can resolve the comment. And if you want, you can always just make suggested edits. Right? So sometimes it helps for you to come along and give some feedback. Right? So here, I want that to start with a capital, right? And I can make that suggested edit there for Sophia. Last is the ability to see the revision history. So when kids are collaborating on work, it's really useful to see who made what contribution and when. So I can click over here and I can see in red what Peter Parker had put in, see what Barbara Gordon had put in. I can go a little bit more recently, right? And it'll show me what Bruce was doing, what Barbara was doing in different parts. And at any point in time, you can always restore it to an earlier version. In another tutorial, I'll explain add-ons. These are very, very powerful tools. And last, I encourage you to explore the other tool sets you have. One of my favorite here is the ability to translate the document. So sometimes you'll have an English language learner in your class. They're here for the long haul. They're going to learn English, but it really is helpful to go ahead and grab a document, throw it into another language, translate it, and now the student can work in their native language and then make the contribution back. It's not perfect, but it's very, very, very empowering. And there we are, a translated copy of Going to Mars in Japanese. So that's a wrap here for sharing and collaborating and working together in Google Docs. Remember, there is no need to save in Google, although if I wanted to, I could always print my work, or I could download it as a Word document, a PDF document, or I could publish it directly to the web. Thank you.